And welcome inside the Ariake Arena in Tokyo for wheelchair basketball, the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. Day 7 of women's action in the wheelchair basketball tournament features Australia against Algeria in the battle for 9th place in this classification game. Normally the Australian Gliders women's team is in the medal hunt at Paralympic Games, landing on the podium at every Games between Sydney 2000 and London 2012. But it's a rebuilding time now in the program, and Australia is looking to finish strong here at Tokyo 2020. For Algeria, it's the second Games in a row they have qualified. They've also qualified for the World Championships, and so the build continues. And they finished bottom Group B, and Australia obviously bottom Group A. So it's going to be a fight for 9th place in this one. The other top 4 in each group will be playing in the quarterfinals. Australia's team's head coach is Craig Friday, who's also coaching the men's team here. And now we'll take a look at the rosters for these two teams. Al Hadaf, number 7, Uzidi, number 8, all of the key names. And for Algeria, their leading players in terms of minutes played: Uzidi, Kemgani, the captain, number 9, and Semati, number 11, all playing well into the 30s, almost 40 minutes per game. So coaches trusting them to carry the main percentage of the minutes. Leading in scoring is Kemgani in most of the offensive categories. And on Australia, on the other side of the floor, there they are, the Australian Gliders. Georgia Monroe-Cook is the captain, number 8. She plays almost 34 minutes per game, averaging just over 6 rebounds per game. Let's keep an eye on number 15, Amber Merritt. She leads Australia and is in fact among the tournament leaders in most of the offensive categories. She's averaging 20 points per game, to go with 11.3 rebounds and 4.8 assists per game, and she's played about 34 minutes per game. So Amber Merritt will be a good one to watch as we see Natalie Alexander slide into line. And now we'll step aside for the Australian and the Algerian national anthems. Advance Australia Fair, the Australian national anthem. Two teams getting geared up for this game, the last of the tournament for both wanting to finish strong. It's the 51st match of Tokyo 2020, and there will be 73 when all is said and done. It was 1945 when the very first wheelchair basketball game was played. That happened at a couple of U.S. World War II veterans hospitals. The game has grown leaps and bounds in the 80 years or so since then. According to the International Wheelchair Basketball Federation, 100,000 players worldwide. There's the referee from Great Britain, Ben Wood. From Malaysia, Hubhon Hyop, and from the host country, Japan, Shunsuke Nikaido. Australia's team did not qualify for Rio 2016 after winning silver in London. So again, on the rebuild phase, they were 9th at the 2018 World Championships. Ended up in a really tough group here. Games against Japan, Germany, Great Britain, and Canada. Maybe their best game was against Germany. They were within 19 in that one and were in it for much of it. Sarah Vinci there on the left, two-time MVP in the Australian National League. Here we see the roster for Algeria. Number 9, Jamila Kemgani will be front and center, 4.0 on the classification scale. Again, the numbers can only add up to 14 or under. And the low point players, you see number 8, Luzidi, and number 11, Samati. Their job is to get the picks and the seals and the screens for their teammates. And when the opportunity arises, we'll try to score the baskets as well. But very important roles played by the low point players, and you've got to have good ones on your team to be successful. Algeria's head coach is Ahmad Taghouch, his assistant Youssef Houri. Algeria qualified. There you see the roster starting for Australia: Dodd, Chrono, Monroe, Cook, Sabalak, and Merritt. The Algerian team qualified with a win over South Africa in a 5-game series, won all 5 of those games. Australian team's qualification for Tokyo, top 2 at the Asia-Oceania qualifying tournament. There is Craig Friday, busy man, with his duties with both the men's and women's Australians teams here in Tokyo 2020. It's the first of 5 games on day 7 of wheelchair basketball. Shelley Chrono in her first Paralympic Games from Queensland. There's Georgia Monroe Cook, plays for the Sydney Metro Blues. Australia is in white, Algeria is in green. And we're getting set for this 9th place game. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And the countdown is on. Everyone wants to finish strong in their Tokyo tournament. And it will be, the tip will be, well, not controlled by anyone, in fact, but it'll be Australia ball. Amber Merritt will inbound it. She's from Perth, plays for the Perth Wildcats, and she's averaging 20 points per game, 11 rebounds, more than 11. She takes the pass underneath, posting up, putting in. Merritt off to a good start. Nice setup from Shelley Chrono. So Australia is really pressing Algeria here, and you've got to move the ball within 5 seconds, and then you've got to get to the mid-court stripe in 8 seconds, and Algeria could not do that. So strong start here. Amber Merritt again, and she's got 4 early points. Abdelali got across the midcourt stripe. Boublal in for Kemgani. Posts up in front. Has hands in her face, but she puts in the bucket. Jamila Kemgani averaging pretty good numbers for Australia, or for Algeria rather, in the tournament. The captain at 6 points per game. Australia right back to score the basket though. First bucket of the game for Chrono. Kemgani being watched by Merritt. Two teams leading scorers. Shot clock winding down. And good defense by Amber Merritt. Nice pass for Chrono. She uses the glass, and it's a comfortable 8-2 lead already for Australia. We're not quite 2 minutes in. Australia is part of the Commonwealth, and there will be wheelchair basketball at next year's Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. It will be with a twist, though. It'll be 3-on-3 wheelchair basketball, so that'll be fun. Merritt up and in. What a game she started with. Piling up 8 points already. And make that 6 points. Algeria trying to get set up on offense. Traffic jam in front of the Australian key, way up at the high post. They get it into the paint, get the shot, and Kemgani sinks it with the shot clock winding down. Jamila Kemgani studied economics at the Institute of Economic Sciences in Algeria. She was the MVP of the African Championships and also an all-star. And there she picks up the rebound. And we're going to get a foul charge here against Shelley Chrono. Chrono is from Queensland, but has lived in Spain and played there, so has real international experience on her resume. Australians with some changes here coming into the game. Bree Melberg, and also checking in is Mary Friday. Samia Abdelali, and they work it into the key. There's the shot put up by Abdelali. Merritt back down for Australia. Works it in front, and the captain, Georgia Monroe-Cook, with her first bucket of the game. Monroe-Cook plays, as we mentioned, for the Sydney Metro Blues in Australia. Kemgani works the pass in, and there's the basket for Davia Samati. You can get your 1.5 classification players on scoring on offense. You're doing something. 12-6 Australia leading. This is Hannah Dodd. First bucket of the game for Dodd. She's competing in her second Paralympic Games, but her first in wheelchair basketball. She was in dressage, so equestrian, back in London in 2012. It's a different kind of team game there, isn't it? You're with your horse. There's a long outside shot from Kemgani, rims out. And Mary Friday is just going to need a moment to get back up. Friday was born in Nigeria, moved to Australia as a child, and she plays for Brad Ness. Her coach is Brad Ness at the Western Australian Institute of Sport. Jess Kronja coming into the game. She's from Sydney. In her first Paralympic Games, much of the Australian team is in its first Paralympic Games in that category, which is positive for the future as Mary Friday locks into her chair. Paris Games just 3 years away in 2024. Merritt weaves into the paint and draws the foul. Boublal with the foul for Algeria. That's her first personal. So Amber Merritt continues to put up good numbers in this tournament. 1 for 2 there from the free throw line. 50% shooter in the tournament from the line. Keeping pace, Kemgani now. Trying to break through the defense of Australia. Takes it down into the corner, but just running out of time. 24 seconds on the shot clock, and Kemgani couldn't get a shot or find anyone else in the open. So the discussions continue on the floor in 2 different languages. Always interesting to hear. Communication is so important. Nice little screen there set up by Hannah Dodd. And that allowed Merritt all kinds of time to set up for the shot. And when that happens, then she seems to make no mistake. 9 points already in the game for Merritt. Back coming comes Algeria. Good rebound there by Friday. And back in comes Jess Kronja. In for Dodd. Draws the foul as she attacks the basket. And it will be against Kemgani. So she kind of susses out the scene. Knows there's probably contact coming. And a nice play there by Dodd. Algeria is going to call a timeout here and just talk about things a little bit. Head coach Tagiouche seeing something he wants to correct, obviously. Let's see if we can listen in and hear if we can listen in to both huddles and timeouts. Well, from the sense of that, I think that Coach Tagiouche wants his team to be a little more aggressive, a little more assertive. Australia 8 of 9 from the field. Pretty impressive numbers. Hannah Dodd to shoot, the 29-year-old from Sydney. Beautiful shooting stroke. Sarah Vinci's coming into the game. She has a Paralympic medal to her credit, was a silver medalist for Team Australia in London in 2012. And in that tournament, it was Germany that beat Australia in the gold medal game by a score of 58-44. Germany also playing well at this tournament. They finished on top of their group. Here the battle under the basket. Good defense by Merritt, and that forces the shot clock to run out. So 10 teams in the women's tournament. 4 from Europe: Netherlands, Great Britain, Germany, Spain. They qualified through the European Championships in 2019. 2 teams from the Americas, USA and Canada, qualified at the Para-Pan Am Games in Lima in 2019. And 2 from Asia, Oceania, Australia, and China. And the Chinese team has looked very strong so far at this tournament. And those 2 teams qualified through the Asia-Oceania Championships. It was China beating Australia in the final there. And then, of course, the host nation, Japan, qualifying as the host nation. Fierce battle right at the mid-court stripe. And we're going to get a jump ball. The possession arrow favors Algeria. (21-6) Australia leading, 2:45 to go. Opening quarter here in the 9th place game. And heading to the basket is Abdelali. Can't get the drop. Rebound, Melberg. Brie Melberg's got an interesting story. She's from Melbourne, 31 years of age. Her education is in biomedical science. In 2019, she started her PhD studying in the field of cancer biology. So she says she'll reassess things after Tokyo 2020 and decide where she's going to put her focus and her time, and she's passionate about education and research and also passing that on to the next generation as well. So that's number 10, Brie Melberg, who actually I think just went off the court as I was looking down at my notes. Yeah, so Melberg came out, Alexander came in, Natalie Alexander. Sometimes that happens to the broadcaster. Algeria trying to cut into this lead just a little bit. Samati getting some help to get uprighted from her coach. First day of playoff action. This is the classification game in the women's tournament. Day 7 will include 4 quarterfinals as well. This is Natalie Alexander, puts the shot up. No, rebound, yes, Merritt. 13 points in the game for Amber Merritt. She's picked up a couple of rebounds and a couple of assists as well. Nouraine Boublal. Captain's coming back in. Georgia Monroe Cook for Australia. Merritt's going to take a breather. Also back in it, or coming into the game for Australia is Isabel Martin. Martin's a 22-year-old, also from Melbourne. Melbourne, a real hotbed of sport in general in Australia, and obviously wheelchair basketball as well. Rebound picked up by Alexander. Passes to Monroe Cook. Takes it into the front court, right in the short corner, puts up the shot, and it is good for Monroe Cook. And again, the press from Australia is just hindering Algeria from getting anything set up. Shot clock winding down. The shot gets up, but then you hear the horn. Back comes Australia. This is Alexander. In for Kronya. And Kemgani's going to sling it way ahead, but Abdalali can't catch up to it. Georgia Monroe Cook. Cuts right into the paint and uses the window, and that'll be the final basket of the opening quarter. 27-8. Australia leads after 10 minutes of play here in the 9th place classification game in Tokyo. 6 points now for Monroe Cook. And her team is up by 19 at the first break. Not very often you're going to see 75% field goal shooting, but that's what Australia's been up to here. Started off as the Amber Merritt show. Kemgani getting the basket for Algeria. Shelley Chrono contributing in many ways for Australia. And there's another one. And Captain Cook doing her thing as well. Monroe Cook, Georgia Monroe Cook. 27-8, Australia leading Algeria. Abdalali, Kemgani, and the basket from Boublal. Comfortable 17-point lead for Australia. Chrono, Monroe Cook. Dishes back for Kronya, but it's going to be a foul, non-shooting variety. Australia to inbound, working with a 14-second shot clock. And some discussion here with the official and Noreen Boublau. And she might be bleeding a little bit here, and you can't be having that on the floor. So they're going to have to get that sorted out and take care of that. And the game will resume. Cronau, Monroe Cook from behind the screen, draws the foul, and will head to the line. Georgia Monroe Cook, third in the tournament in fouls drawn, so we shouldn't be surprised that she is heading to the line. Good players have a way of doing that. And they have a way of doing that as well. Not only drawing the foul, but taking advantage of it. When the opportunity comes, Abdelali, Zari, Abdelali, Kamgani, Algeria gets the rebound and a new clock, but the pass is over the head of Samati, and it'll be Australia ball. Cronau in the key, but can't get enough height on that one. Good job here by Zari, but also good defense by both Australian players, Kronya and Monroe Cook. But it's a foul call against Australia, and it will be Zari heading to the line. Amber Merritt coming back into the game for Australia. Jess Kronya will take a breather. And you can hear a little shout there from Zari, knew that that one was short. So Merritt for Melberg. And Merritt. Minute 40 into the second quarter. Australia with an 18-point lead. And the shot from the free throw line by Melberg is a little off the mark at the base of the rim. Abdelali taking the pass from Kamgani. Dealt inside for Zari. Takes it down to the low corner. Under pressure from Merritt. 4 on the shot clock, 3 and 2. Here it comes. And Merritt back for Australia. And a nice basket there on the setup. Melberg finishes, set up by Merritt, using the odd player advantage to make that happen. Kamgani, all the way across for Abdelali. Back to Kamgani, 4, now 3 on the shot clock. And she's gonna run out of time. She tries the long hook shot. And another substitution here. Coming in for Australia is Ella Sablak. It's going to be Algeria ball. Trying to get across that mid-court stripe. Abdelali just does it with about a second to spare. And they're going to say this is a held ball. So instead of a jump, we go possession arrow, alternating possession arrow in wheelchair basketball, as you see in basketball these days, and it favors Australia. Sablyak for Taysher Ovens. Been doing a lot of work away from the ball in the game. Ovens now gives it back to Monroe Cook. Merritt. And another basket for Amber Merritt. Well into the double digits for Merritt. 15 points in the game. Abdelali. Kimgani. Zari. Those are the three key players for Algeria. Australia able to use its entire lineup here. That is what they've been doing as much as possible throughout the tournament. We've seen that on the men's side as well. Craig Friday, and in this case, it seems like Craig Campbell is taking as much of a lead role as well. Melberg. Merritt for three. That's a little short. All of the remaining games of the wheelchair basketball tournament will be held here at the Ariake Arena. Quarterfinals in women's, quarterfinals in men's are all set to go. This is the 9th place game. And the long shot by Algeria. The rebound picked up by Melberg. In for Merritt, and it just had it stripped by Kemgani. Does well to make the pass, but Zari can't catch up to it. Algerian player down, and with the help of Australian Amber Merritt, she's back up again. Checking into the game, Hannah Dodd and Natalie Alexander, both back into the game. Alexander with the left-hand shot, a little short, and it's going to be out. Algeria ball. Kira Zari. Into the paint. Gives it for Samati. And Merritt's long pass just off the fingertips of Sabalak. Sabalak, a 1.0 player, and if you're familiar with wheelchair basketball, you know how it works. We've got a timeout on the floor. 1.0 players, it's much more difficult for them to use their core body strength the same way that the 4s and the 4.5s, the high pointers, can do. You see some of the 4-pointers and 4.5 pointers almost tipping their chairs up and reaching, almost jumping with their chairs. Everybody has a key role, though, on the team. You got to have good high point players. You got to have good mid-point players and good low-point players. And everyone has specific jobs and roles. Only adds up to 14 points in terms of classification points. Just like in a rugby game, you've got different roles for different players, in a sense, different size players, different skill set players. And much of the same goes in wheelchair basketball. 22-point lead for Australia. We're halfway through, a little more than halfway through the second quarter. Fifth game of the tournament for both teams, each looking for a first win. Australia very much in the driver's seat here. Jamila Kemgani taking the inbound, giving back to Abdelali. The pass finds Bouzidi, back to Zari. Good play there to set up Abdelali, and there you go. That was one of the nicest crafted baskets we've seen Algeria, certainly in this game. Natalie Alexander, 30-year-old from Perth, slings a pass in for Monroe Cook, and she again draws the foul, as she is wont to do. So that's the third team foul for Algeria. They get another one, then Australia will go to the line for every foul after that. And Kamgani just kind of lost the handle on that. Merritt might be charged with a foul. She is. I think what Merritt expected Kamgani to, how she expected her to react and the way she reacted were just two different things. And here's a steal by Australia. Merritt with an uncontested layup and a nice setup from Dodd. Again, Dodd, another example of the great work by a low point player. And right back down the floor comes Abdelali, and she banks it off the glass and in. But I'm really impressed with Dodd's skill set. Second-time Paralympian, we mentioned in dressage back in London. Alexander, yes! Natalie Alexander, her first basket of the game. Abdelali. Zayari, she's got the big hands, and the big hands are always great. Look at that shot. Abdelali from way downtown hits it, and Coach Taguch says, yeah, that was amazing. Let's see some more of that. So three-pointer for Samia Abdelali. Back comes Australia with Merritt. And she gets the and one play. So she's got the two. We'll try for one more. Back into the game comes Chrono. So the Australians with a couple of players checking in as well. Vinci and Chrono. Algeria readying for this. Something's amiss. Kemgani picks up the rebound. Ahead for Abdelali. This time she's going to get a little closer to the basket. Can't get the drop. Monroe Cook, quick pass ahead for Merritt. Inside of 2 minutes to play in the opening half. Merritt weaves into the paint, where Dodd has wreaked some havoc for her, created some space for her, and then Merritt, on the second opportunity, puts it in. 21 points in the game for Merritt. And Dodd didn't get an assist on that, but might well have. And we've got a jump ball being called here, a held ball. And this time the possession arrow favors Algeria. I don't think they realize it. Now they do. Kemgani is going to come and inbound the pass. Inbound the ball for Abdelali. Boublal. That long reach. And the rebound picked up by Monroe Cook. Dishes inside for Dodd. And it's going to be an offensive foul here called on Australia. Abdelali. Does well to get free, get up the long shot, but not that time. Merritt, yes. Piling up 23 points already. Inside of half a minute to play. Full court press now by Australia. Kemgani trying to weave her way to that mark before 16 seconds. She does so. Boublal. Dishes for Bouzidi, 2 seconds on the shot clock. They're not going to get it up in time. Not a bad attempt. Cronau. Monroe Cook from the free throw line as the horn is sounding to end the opening half. And Australia is in control, up 42-17 on Algeria after 20 minutes of play here at the Ariake Arena. And you see how carefully the trainer is giving each player their own water bottle and their own towel. All part of the COVID protocols, being careful, being safe. 42-17, Australia leading Algeria. Australia has spread the scoring around a fair bit, despite the 23 points from Merritt. Algeria's had Abdelali getting involved, and Samati. And there's some more baskets. Great one there from Dodd. Big part of Merritt's big first half. couple of different angles of Abdelali's efforts and Merritt's efforts. And there's the three. Beautifully stroked. Everybody liked that one. 66% from the field for Australia, 30% for Algeria. 1 of 5 from the three-point land for Algeria. That was the one we just saw. Rebounding is a key factor for Australia in their success so far here in this 9th place game.
Our team coming 7th is Australia with 11 gold. Equal on 10 is Italy and the Netherlands with 9, Aslan, and number 9, and then 6 for Spain and the Islamic Republic of Iran with 5. 続いてはオーストラリアが11個の金メダル、イタリアが10個、オランダ10個と続いています。その後はアゼルバイジャンが9個、スペインが6個、そしてイラン、イスラム共和国が5個と続いています。With so many wonderful achievements happening at the Paralympic Games this year, it's time to look at yesterday's highlights of the game. それでは昨日6日目のパラリンピックハイライトをご覧いただきましょう。どうぞ。 Watching those highlights gives me goosebumps. You can see how much it means to the athletes, these games.
ハイライトをご覧いただきました。私たちもですね、映像を見ながら本当に感動しておりまして、もう気持ちがどんどん込み上げてくるといった思いがしました。では、この後またちょっとお届けしたいと思います。
And even more special are when they break records.
昨日生まれた世界記録、改めてここでご覧いただきましょう。どうぞ。
Let's have a look at the record-breaking package from yesterday.
Back at the Ariake Arena, ready for second half action. Algeria in green. There the Australians are in white, ready to roll in. The Australian Gliders, as they're called. The Rollers are the men's team from Australia. They'll be in the quarterfinals as well, or in the quarterfinals in the men's tournament. Australia will face Japan, the host nation. 42-17, Australia leading. Amber Merritt has 23 points already for Australia. Georgia Monroe-Cook with 7. And on the other side of the ball, Kemgani has 4, and actually Abdelali has 7. Here's Monroe-Cook. First shot, first basket of the second half. 9-point game for the Australian captain. And the ball thrown out of bounds. Might have gone off a deflection of Australia, but that's not the way the officials saw it, so it's going to be Australia ball. Cronau drops it off for Merritt. And then Cronau creates a bit of room. And now the ball ends in the hands of Monroe-Cook. Dishes for Merritt. She's got the big hand in her face from Abdelali. The two battle for it. This time the possession arrow favors Algeria. So Australia in a rebuild phase. You can certainly see they have some nice players, really nice, talented players on the team, and it's just a matter of time before it all comes together, you would think. Paralympic Games in 3 short years in Paris, followed by Los Angeles in 28, and then the Aussies will be hosting in Brisbane in 2032. Excitement and the planning, no doubt, beginning for that. Probably more planning than excitement at this point. Lots of work to be done. Bublal puts up the shot, scores the basket. Six points in the game for Noureen Bublal, the 28-year-old from the Algerian team, playing in her second Paralympic Games. And she gives a pat to her teammate. Abdelali says it's all right. And we mentioned Georgia Monroe-Cook, among the leaders in the tournament in fouls drawn, and her aggressive play doing that again here. Finishing off the three-point play. Foul here is against Shelley Cronau. Abdelali. Beautifully done. A little whoop thrown up from the Algerian side. Sahima Abdelali. She's 33. She was the first woman from an African nation to score a basket at the Paralympic Games. That happened in Rio in 2016. Happened in a game against China. Monroe-Cook on the pass from Merritt. I like how Merritt disguised the pass as a shot. Substitutions for both teams now. Cronau coming out for Australia, as well as Sablak. Into the game, Sarah Vinci and Natalie Alexander. Algeria charging into the lane, and the shot from Salami doesn't hit, but you like that aggressiveness. Merritt short, rebound. Algeria, that was Boublal. Now it's Kemgani trying to outrace Monroe Cook, who hustles back to get into a good defensive position, but Kemgani scores the basket off the glass. And we're 5-5 so far here in the third quarter. See if Algeria can keep it even for a while. And coming into the game for the Aussies is Kronya and Friday. Monroe Cook and Hannah Dodd. Take a breather. Natalie Alexander plays as a 2.5 on the classification, drops it off for Merritt. And she had a mismatch there in terms of size, which she often does, and scores another basket. 25 points for Merritt. Nice job by Kemgani to get across the timeline. Takes it down to the low post, then banks it off the glass. Get another chance with Merritt all over her. Now Boublal. No. And back come the Gliders. And Amber Merritt just carefully works her way down into the low post and then puts up the shot. That drops 27 points. Salami, Kemgani. Under close guard from Kronya and Friday. And she has a bit of space, so she puts up a shot off the mark. Rebound, Merritt. 7 rebounds in the game now for Merritt. Here she comes on offense. Got spun around. Nice little feed for Mary Friday, who draws the foul. It'll be a non-shooting foul. Or will it? Yes, it'll be an inbound from the end line. Natalie Alexander will do the chore for Australia. Merritt. And you could just hear Kronya waiting for the pass underneath. She got it and then draws the foul. Kronya to shoot the free throws. Comes from Sydney. Of course, a lot of legacy left from the Paralympic Games in the Sydney area, and they held them in 2000. She was only a 2-year-old then, but still you get the sense that the Games leave a legacy. Accessibility-wise, exposure for Paralympic athletes, and I think the sense is that that has definitely been the case for Sydney, Australia. Kemgani trying to weave towards the paint, gets down to the low post and puts up the shot eventually, won't drop in. Rebound scooped up by Alexander. Merritt. Vinci. Yes. Sarah Vinci getting involved in the offense. Two-time MVP of the Australian National League. She's from Perth in her second Paralympic Games. Silver medalist in London in 2012. Salami. Bublau. Kemgani for two, a long two. And it's going to be Algeria ball. They're going to get a new 14-second clock. Kemgani not happy with the way that was set up. I believe that was directed at her teammate. Nice little pass, though, from Kemgani in. And another nice setup. This time it was Salami who couldn't finish. Merritt. Alexander. The base of the rim. Inside of 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go, third quarter. Kemgani for Algeria, drops it off for Samati. Rebound picked up by Alexander, or at least by Merritt. And it rims out. Trio of players coming into the game for Australia. Bree Melberg. Among them, and Isabel Martin. And Natalie Alexander's been in all the time, so missed the third one. Oh, actually, Taysher Ovens. Mahimda for Algeria just checked in, and she puts up her first shot. Melberg drops for Alexander. Dishes for Kronya. Taken away by Kemgani. Lobs the pass ahead, but Melberg had to hustle back and was right there. Bree Melberg. The pass for Kronya. From the baseline, hits it. Money. Jess Kronya. So Algeria breaking the press. Mahimda. Offensive foul, so well set up by Kemgani. Got in the way of Kronya and just parked her chair. Mahimda. Takes the return pass from Zari. Banks it off the glass. It's short. Scooped up by Martin. Lost. Again, it's controlled by Algeria, but her wheels out of bounds on the play. Melberg to inbound. And a foul called here on Algeria. Looks like it's on Zari. Alexander for Australia. Ovens, Alexander, off the glass, draws the foul. She'll head to the line. So Alexander uses the one-hand shot most often, it seems. See if she does the same on the free throw. Finishes with one, certainly, but gets the other one up for support. Still a 55-24 lead, Australia, here in the 9th place classification game in Tokyo. Zari in for Kemgani, has her path blocked, and they're going to call the foul on Melberg. Kemgani. Shot clock at 5. Trying to spin away, works it in for Zari. Did she get it up in time? Missed as anyway. But they're going to call this Algeria ball. So it went off the backboard and rim. That reset the shot clock, then it went off Australia. So a new 14-second clock for Algeria. Kadir. Noval Kadir in for Mahimda. Short, rebound, grabbed by Melberg. Now into the hands of Ovens. Melberg gets across the timeline in the required 8 seconds. Puts up the shot behind the screen that was nicely set up by Isabel Martin. So Melbourne with the bucket. Traveling call here on Algeria's number 5, that's Kadir. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Inbound pass finds Martin. Alexander. Kronya. Rebounded by Algeria. Let's see if they can attack the basket one more time. Zari. Kadir. Mahimda. An 8-second violation. Could not cross that center hash in time. And Algeria gives up the ball. 18.3 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Australia moving it around, looking for that shot attempt. And foul called on number 5, that's Kadir. And they're in the bonus, so that will send Australia to the line. This will be Jess Kronya. Beautiful. Boy, we've seen some really good foul shooters in this tournament, both in the women's and in the men's tournament. And 2 for 2 for Jess Kronya. Came in as a 67% field goal shooter. Those were her first free throws. Final seconds, and they tick down So after 3 quarters of play here at the Ariake Arena in the 9th place game, Australia certainly in control, up 59-24 on Algeria. Number that caught my eye, 28 defensive rebounds. Let's take a look back at some of the third quarter highlights. Amber Merritt, a couple of her 27 points. Sarah Vinci getting in on the offense. Bree Melberg nicely set up on the screen there from Martin. .35 lead, Australia. Let's see if we get some strong ball on both sides of the floor here in the fourth quarter. Last quarter of play for both teams. Melberg trying to dish it inside for Kranya. Algeria takes possession. Can they get it past the timeline? And they do, but give up the ball in the process. Ovens trying to dish it in for Kranya. Comes back to Ovens. Rebound. Controlled by Martin. Alexander works her way into the paint, puts up the shot, scores the basket. Noel Kadir trying to feed a pass through for Zari. Eventually, it does find Zari. And a nice job to recover the ball by Mahimda. And for Zari. No. Rebound. Yes. Kira Zari. Her first basket of the game. Seems like she's been pretty involved with 3 rebounds and a couple of assists as well, but that was her first bucket. Natalie Alexander. Melberg. Nice job by Zari to get a hand on it. It's going to be Australia ball with 7 on the shot clock. Waits until the last possible moment, but got the hand up. Shot clock is dying down, no shot. And we're gonna get a foul on the play against Algeria. Non-shooting, so Australia's gonna inbound the ball from the end line. Alexander to Melberg, to the hoop, but no, a little short. Mahimda. Kadir. So among the rare times in the tournament that Algeria doesn't have Kim Ghani on the floor. And they are even with Australia here in the first 2 minutes and 19 seconds of the fourth quarter. 2 points each. Cornell coming into the game for Australia, so is Sabdlak, and so is Friday. Nicely done by Bouzidi, one of two. Cornell. Melberg helping her escape. It's all about the teamwork. Kranya fading and firing and hitting. 63-27, Australia leading. Bree Melberg. Zings a pass across for Kranya. Works it in for Cornell. And she draws the foul. That's against Kadir. Her third foul, personal of the game. 6:57 to go, so that should not be a factor. Cornell takes the return pass from Kranya. Sablak from the baseline, trying to get her own rebound, can't. Kadir, Mahimda, and now pushed ahead for Zari. Mahimda. And no foul on the play, just a player down. And so whistle goes for safety reasons. Kadir back on her wheels. I noticed the difference in chairs. Some players choose, or some teams' chairs have 2 wheels on the back, and some have just the one. Couple of shots from Bublau, can't find the range. And still, Abdalali will get 3 chances at it. In fact, it is Zari who finally finishes it off. Algeria actually has more points here in the fourth quarter, 5-4, with a chance to add to that. So I would think winning a quarter would be a really a nice accomplishment for them here to end their tournament if they can endeavor to do that. Here's Bublau with a huge mismatch in size. She's very tall up in her chair. Foul call. It's on Melberg. Nothing but net. Cronau. It's Australia on offense again into the front court for Melberg. Trying to dish for Kranya. It's picked up by Sablak. Cronau, nicely done off the backboard and in. You see her getting congratulations from Ella Sablak. Sablak is a member of the International Wheelchair Basketball Federation Athlete Steering Committee for that part of the world, Asia, Oceania. They asked if she wanted to be part of a steering committee and wasn't too sure, but said yes. Gives her an opportunity to help establish a voice for all athletes. There's the shot as the shot clock expires from Abdalali. It's off the mark. Timeout, or at least substitutions. Here comes Georgia Monroe Cook back into the game. Put up some nice points and numbers so far. Expect her to do a fair bit of ball handling. Cronau. Monroe Cook. Fights off Zari. Heads to the hoop. Puts it off the window. And 14 points in the game for the Australian captain, Georgia Monroe Cook. Is it me or is it just too fun you want to say Captain Cook every time? And a foul call here against Kranya. That's her second. Algeria. Get it underneath for Zari. Good job to get a hand on it by Kranya. And now she's on offense. 2-on-1 with Cronau. Gives it to her. Off the backboard and in. Perfectly hit by Shelley Cronau. Most experienced player, I think it's fair to say, on the Australian team. Playing in Spain, playing for the national team. And in Europe, the way it often works, I think the way it usually works, is women play with the men's teams, and they're worth a lower number classification point. I believe it's 1.5 less. So if you're a 3.5, you're a 2. And so it works out favorably when you're a really good player, and if you're a really good player for a man or a really good player for a woman, but if you're a really good player for a woman, then you're a really valuable player to the team because you're worth a lower number. So that's how they incorporate men and women on the floor in these top level teams in Europe. .4:12 to go, fourth quarter. 39-point lead for Australia. They're going to win, we know that, but Algeria's trying to develop their program, finish as strong as they can, be three-time African champions. Abdalali. Zari. And a traveling call against Zari. And remember, you gotta dribble the ball after 2 pushes. So even if those are kind of side, if you're turning pushes, you've got to dribble the ball. And that's exactly what happened there with Zari. And as in, standing basketball, sometimes it's very subtle to see, and the referees learn when to see that traveling call. Something just looked wrong. More substitutions into the game. Checking back in, Isabel Martin and Taysher Ovens. Bublau. Abdelali. Zari. The one-hand shot won't drop. Rebound Australia. That was Martin who picked up the rebound. A little quick pass for Monroe Cook. The feed for Friday. Yes, off the glass and in for Mary Friday. Abdelali finds Bublau. Back to Abdelali. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Got it up in time. Rebound. Monroe Cook can't control it. It's Algeria. Bublau. Abdelali. Watched by Friday. Gives the pass to Zaire. And now Australia controlling. Ovens. Monroe Cook. Kronya. Inside. Monroe Cook on the give and go. Can't finish. Did she keep it alive? No. Abdelali. Zari rebound. Abdelali again. This time uses the glass and in for Samia Abdelali. Eight points for Abdelali in the game. Ovens. Monroe Cook. Rebound Algeria. Samati. And another 8-second violation. So the full court press from Australia making escape from the backcourt difficult for Algeria. Minute 28 to go in this one. Australia will be the 9th place team. Ovens from the free throw line. Nope, but rebounded by Martin. Monroe Cook, Ovens. If at first you don't succeed, well, she'll need a third try. Bublau. Abdelali. And we've got a foul call here. Might be on Ovens. It is. Non-shooting. Bublau. Abdelali. Out of the reach of Zari. Inside of 40 seconds to play, fourth quarter. Georgia Monroe Cook looks for an opening to get the shot up. Good defense from Zari. Ovens trying to track it down, and it's going to be Algeria ball with 25 seconds left. So a full shot clock and one. Zari. She was part of the team that played in Rio, first African team to play women's team at the Paralympic Games. And I think this is a 3-second violation here as Bublau was parked in the key. Ovens does well to protect the ball. Again, now she's under all kinds of pressure. Algeria wants the final basket, and it'll be a foul call here against Bublau. And this should be oh no, this is their third in terms of team fouls. Final seconds now of this one. Georgia Monroe-Cook, the Australian captain. Her team finishing strong here in this game. And will win, and the final score is 71-32, Australia beating Algeria. And an all-around effort for Australia, spreading the scoring around. Had a big game from Amber Merritt. She only played 23 minutes, though, and piles up 27 points, 14 for Monroe-Cook. 8 for Cronau, and then points across for Vinci and Kronya and Dodd and Melberg. A couple for Friday and Alexander as well. So the Algerian team in its second trip to the Paralympic Games, still looking for its first win. They'll continue to build the program and work towards that for, well, the build-up for Paris 2024. The Australian team is also in a bit of a rebuild phase. Missed the games in Rio after winning medals in every games between Sydney and London. And now they build for Paris as well. The numbers all favor Australia. They'll do the team photo, and they'll celebrate their experience at Tokyo 2020, as will Algeria. Two teams put on a good effort in this 9th place classification game, and Australia takes it by a final score of 71-32. Well, there's so much more to a Paralympic Games experience than just wins and losses, but you do want to get the wins whenever you can. The coaches for Australia, the leaders for Australia, talking about the experience here. Lots of energy in the 9th place game at the Ariake Arena. The Australian team used everybody in the game and win it 71-32. They'll finish 1-4 in Tokyo. The Algerian team continues to build for the future. We saw strong efforts from several players, and they will celebrate the experience of Tokyo 2020. And we'll see if we see them again in Paris in 2024. Again, the final score, Australia 71, Algeria 32, here at the Ariake Arena as part of the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games.